Okay, today we're going to be talking about problems with the Pocket 3, current problems, which I think is problems. Some of you may think it's nitpicks, and that's okay. But to see if any of these things can get fixed. Some of these things I will feedback to DJI. Whether they see it's a problem or whether they can fix it, we'll see. So let's start with the number one problem that I'm having with it, and that's with cycling. So basically cycling, you would have chest mount like this on your body, and click this in. This is the DJI expansion adapter, aka GoPro adapter. You got GoPro, you got the hot shoe or cold shoe. The orientation would be like this on your body because you're leaning over your handlebars, right? The problem with that is that when you turn it on, let's turn this on and flip it around, have it set. It's actually, see, notice it, it's actually oriented facing the camera body. This is on tilt lock. That means every time you start it off with your body, with the camera tilted, because your body's tilted, it's facing the handlebar or the ground, depending on how much lean you have on your bike. That makes quick starting a shot impossible, makes it impossible. So what you have to do at every single time is go into DJI Mimo app and manually adjust using the toggle, adjust it to a level, the level plane. It's actually recording in front of you. 1, 2, 3, and flip this over to the front. This is considered the front, and double click it. It's always level. Double click, level. Doesn't matter where it is, double click, level. So that's ideally what you want, right? You want it to always face forward while you're cycling, but impossible for the way this is set up with the screen facing that way, right? So why would they do this? Well, okay. I looked at the Pocket 2 and it has the same behavior, and I think the idea of it is that they're expecting most people to vlog with it, to do a selfie with the screen side, the back side. It makes sense that the person's looking at the screen, therefore when you do the gimbal centering or when you load it up, it's trying to face towards the angle of the screen, which is more likely to be facing your face. Again, I'm gonna use this for cycling, or even strapped onto your bag. Doesn't make sense. So if you have this strapped onto your bag, you're gonna have to make sure, if you want to do a quick shot, you're gonna have to make sure this is completely perpendicular to the ground. So every time you quick load it, it'll be completely flat. Otherwise, you have to go eat in every single time into the DJI Mimo. So that kind of sucks. So I'm not sure how they can get around this. Maybe they have an option, an additional option inside the menu that allows the back side to have the same behavior as the front side. Big problem that I have with it because it just doesn't allow quick recording for cycling. Okay, so first problem. Second problem I would say is this is a nitpick. Screen lock with auto record. Okay, yeah, this is a behavior I notice. So we have swiping down. This is screen, rotate and capture. Okay, cool. That's cool. So how about you have a quick on? How cool is that? Turn it on, instant record. Love it, right? Awesome. But when you shut it down, oh, what? It's doing the 2-second countdown. It's doing the 2-second countdown despite in the settings you have rotate screen power now, so it's still doing 2 seconds despite you have that second sit down. Now I believe that's part of the reason they do that is because they want to give you a chance to actually shut it off. So they give you a chance to continue, gives you a chance to maybe press continue just so you can shut that off. This is a nitpick, but I'm saying this is sort of a bug. Okay, next, auto flicker. Auto flicker doesn't work. Works sometimes and sometimes doesn't work. This is my advice to you. My advice is that you just know which country you're in. For example, I am in Singapore, so, and auto flicker. Manually set that, honestly. 50 hertz is the frequency cycling. Automatically, like, just set it if you know you're gonna visit like another country that has 50 hertz, like Singapore. And if you're in US, just click 60 hertz. Don't rely on the auto, it doesn't work. I'll give you a sample in which I just started the recording and it's just flickering. And because I didn't pay attention to the footage, I didn't realize there was flickering footage. That means all of it was flickering. And that kind of sucks. That kind of sucks when you start recording it. You realize later and like, oh, I check out just 10 minutes of footage and like, oh, it's all flickering. And because the auto flicker didn't work. So that's a problem. It just sometimes it just doesn't work. Manually set it. Let me take this thing off. So the problem we have is with the storing of the camera. So I just shut it off and store it. Oh, that's very nice, very easy. What I noticed when I took out the camera out of the bag, at times, actually the lens, I have found that this head is rotated with the lens facing out. And what that means is that that lens can actually get scratched up. Pocket 2 design is that it actually sandwiches in there. So it doesn't matter what kind of rubbing or whatever you do, it's firm and it's in there, right? The problem with this one is that it never locked the gimbal head. It kind of like gave it power for that 3 or 5 seconds, gave you a chance to slide it in here, and then now it's loose in here, but it doesn't matter because it's inside a case. Very nice design. I think this design is more about protecting the OLED. See, I barely put pressure, and then it's already loose. So I have found it like this. So imagine you're carrying this in your bag, right? And then boom, boom, scratched up. So solution, I'm not asking them to redesign it because it makes sense in that they want to protect the LCD. If you wanted to slide it this way, you might damage this thing or it might activate it. So my advice is this, that's it. Go get yourself a soft cloth like this for sunglasses, a couple of bucks, and all you can do is slide this in and that's it. That'll just help it protect it. It'll protect it from getting scratched. You see how that rotated like that so easily? Jesus. You just want to protect that lens in case, you know, you have other stuff in your bag. Put this in and it doubles as a cleaning cloth. That's my advice. Just nothing to fix it, but I'll state this as a problem as something for people to be mindful of when they own this camera, just so they just don't get their lens scratched up by accident. Okay, that's it. Okay, I just wanted to add, I'm filming this separately, and I just wanted to add that upon a further inspection, I can understand the design better. It does seem like it is a flaw, sort of. So here it is. Basically, when you have the camera inside, pushed in all the way, this will not budge. It's pretty tight, okay? But because there's no overhang here, because there is an overhang here and there's no covering of the rear, if you bump this slightly, just a little bit, and it looks like it's in as before, now it's completely loose. That very small amount, do you see that small amount? I would say that's like a 0.5 millimeter amount. You see that? That is loose. Now it's tight. It's like you can't even detect. It's loose like that. You see how little difference that is? Ready? And push in. That's the difference. I can't even see it. And it's loose. Look closely. And tighten. It didn't even move. That's the difference between. So when you have it in your bag, this can get banged around or pushed, right? So even the slightest of push will cause this to be unlocked. But it seems like they sort of designed it to be locked. Now it's in and it doesn't move. Needs a redesign. Basically, this thing needs to cover the whole thing so you don't get that shifting. Or they need to figure out that it doesn't have to be, it can't be that sensitive when it's locking in the head. But like I said, this sunglass case, just ensure that your lens doesn't get scratched up. And I imagine they cut this part off maybe just for the lanyard. Maybe they can put it somewhere else. I suppose they can't because they need the clipping mount on the bottom. I think or they just create a channel here to allow space for this. Anywho, yeah, the case is not great. The case has an issue with it, so just be mindful. So, like I said, that's it. Things, some of them is a nitpick. I would say that I'm fine with manually setting the flicker. I'm fine with using a soft bag for this. I'm fine with the screen lock, taking the extra 2 seconds when its menu says it's supposed to be immediate. But what I'm not fine with is not the ability to do a quick cycling shot by just turning it on and recording it. So I don't know how they can figure it out, make an extra setting in which that tilt lock just functions like a tilt lock. Please. I don't know if DJI is going to watch this video. Maybe they will, because I'll send them the link. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and like and all that stuff.
Yeah.